It's been a rough few days of water leaks, and it's not much fun when you live in a beautiful old church that was abandoned. But this is one of the problems that I've had with trying to save these two churches is trying to get support to even fix the roofs is been non-existent. You know, it's amazing how much money is grifted by conservatives, whether it's Trump's hawking Bibles or sneakers or, you know, tax exemptions for huge religious corporations or PPP loans or televangelists making $75 million a year. I mean, it's just outrageous. But if you try to find an investor to save a couple of historic, beautiful churches, there's no support, which is quite bizarre if you think about it. People consider it a grift if you're trying to save a church roof or get it repaired, but yet they will give hundreds of millions of dollars, billions, to seditionists, traitors, homegrown terrorists, neo-Nazis, even murderers like Kyle. But if you try to save a church roof, that's out of the question. It's really quite sad because 6,000 to 10,000 churches close yearly in America. Now, the point that I'm trying to make is if these conservative billionaires and these huge corporations that donate money to their campaigns or anonymously to their super PACs and shell companies and all the stuff that the Federalist Society and the Heritage Foundation and all of these hate groups like Mums of Liberty or Libs of TikTok, you know, it's just the amount of dark money that goes into hatred, bigotry in America is unbelievable. It's quite disturbing. I don't know. And I just wanted to try to find an investor to save a couple of beautiful buildings because a lot of them end up getting bulldozed into the ground, which is the case that I had here in McKeesport when I moved here, not for this church, as beautiful as it is, but I actually came here to save a Gothic brownstone that was just absolutely beautiful with the most orchestral ceiling and baptismals. And it was like brownstone, like West Village, Park Slope, Harlem Bronx. It was the most beautiful stone. And it was produced locally, Humilson brownstone. And in the end, after fighting with the mayor of McKeesport for a year, they took $200,000 off the housing authority and bulldozed it into the ground. Now, the idea that I'd had about moving here to save that church was to actually get the local skilled community who is out of work to actually have some kind of program to teach the kids who are hanging around on the streets and doing drugs and crime, which is a big problem in McKeesport, to actually create programs to get the unemployed workers to actually pull the community to get together and train the kids with some programs, which I'm sure would have been possibility to get federal grants for that kind of stuff. But no one was interested, you know. This city, they keep bulldozing some of the most beautiful historic buildings, selling off major utilities, but they've never built anything. They've never created anything. And they keep blocking investors from converting some of these beautiful downtown pre-war buildings. And the sad thing is there's no accommodations here. There's no possibility for growth. So if you're constantly blocking developers and bulldozing everything, then how is it going to grow, right? Waiting around for CVS or another bank or a car park is ridiculous. And on top of that, McKeesport has a fantastic marina, which is where the famous Penn McKee Hotel is, with the famous handshake of Nixon and Kennedy, and it still looks like a crack house after 11 years of campaigning. Yes, Senator Brewster, I'm looking at you too. Now, if Democrats were really Democrats and it wasn't really about corruption, then that building would have already been preserved, the marina would already be a tourist attraction, and then maybe people could come to this town, maybe they could enjoy the historic architecture or the history of the buildings, of the nature walks, of the bridges, of photographers or artists or painters or nature walks, all of that stuff that they don't provide. Hey boy, yes, I love you too. Yes, I do.